And I will close my mayor's comments and open the floor to any public comments. If you'll state your name and your address for the record, please.
George Anderson. I'm from Rome, Georgia, Floyd County. And I appreciate the opportunity to speak to the council and the mayor tonight.
Just a minute, Mr. Anderson. We need your street address for the minutes.
Oh, okay. 211 Saddle Mountain Road, Southeast. And the zip code is 30161 in Rome. And you also have that in correspondence, but that'll be put in the minutes. What is the time? I understood it to be 5 minutes.
Yes, sir. It's been brought to my attention that our charter limits public comments to 5 minutes.
Okay. First off, I'd like to ask the mayor and the council, what is the status of a ethics complaint filed months ago? Actually, at the time I was going in to have knee replacement, and I've had all this physical therapy and I've had all this time go by. And what is the status over a 3-month period? I have heard nothing back as far as a citizen committee put together to handle this. We've got an official that was elected by part of the citizens of Snellville, but did false swearing under OCGA 16-1071 of the Georgia Code, that being Councilman Witts, and he's very nonchalant about it. He doesn't seem to be concerned. Now, Article 1, Section 2 of the Georgia Constitution, all government of right, key words here, because you have a councilman that false sweared back in November of 2009 when he took the oath from his legal counsel, Mark Lane, his business partner, Mark Lane, and the gentleman knew that he was swearing in a newly elected official that was $28,000 behind in uncollected state of Georgia taxes. Therefore, you false sweared.
And please make sure you direct all comments to me, okay?
Originates with the people and is founded upon their will only and is instituted solely for the good of the whole. Public officers are the trustees and servants of the people, and are at all times amendable to them. So, Mayor, what I'm saying here is that this came out the other day. Widening probe stains Gwinnett reputation. Now, ever since I gave almost 200 pages to the District Attorney Danny Porter about Kennerly and about Lassiter back in 2008, I have been trying to do something about the corruption that's been existing in Gwinnett County. Now we have a situation here in the city of Snellville that needs to be looked after because people are tired of it. They're struggling, they're trying to raise a family, they're trying to pay their bills, but corruption, outrage, and even whistleblowing doesn't seem to get the job done because we have officials that just figure they can get away with it. This is the notice of candidacy and affidavit that was signed back in August of 2009, and also I believe the swearing in was with the chief magistrate judge, again, legal counsel in 10 to 12 legal cases. Mayor, I'm hopeful that something can be done here because I do have notification from the Judicial Qualifications Commission that they're doing the investigation on Mark Lane. That is good news because we've got to have ethical behavior, and we cannot have violations of the public's trust. Every city council, every city commission, county commission, state agencies I've spoken to over the last 15 years knows they were put there to benefit their political party, to benefit special interests, or to benefit perhaps insurance or real estate or whatever. There are some that actually believe and act and do the right thing to serve the public's needs. They demean themselves, which means they lower themselves to serve the public. Now, I've gone through the code of ethics of the city charter of Mr. Powell. Could you wait just a moment, or is this something that you're trying to tell her as far as the time? Because I would like to be told if it's a minute left, 30 seconds left, that would be a fair thing to do.
Mr. Anderson, the city attorney has told me your time has expired. I've been watching the clock on the back of the room. It looks like you have, based on that clock, a minute left, so I'll give you a minute to wrap up your comments.
Thank you. And I'm glad I made your night, but Mr. Powell, with the emails that we've had back and forth, was hoping that you had some
Mr. Anderson, make sure you direct your comments to me, please, sir.
Mayor, I was hoping that the attorney hired twice now by the city of Snellville was going to work towards getting some of this accomplished rather than smirking and smiling over there thinking that, oh, we'll just ignore him once again. Now, this copy here I want to give to the council and the mayor. I have sent several things to you that have come to this council and been signed by someone, and I'd like to ask when the committee is going to be created and the complaint that has been filed on a city councilman is, I'm going to be notified as the complainant when that's going to be heard, and I'll be notified when the meeting's going to be held, the hearing, the investigation, and I'll bring some more documentation if you need it, because I understand that I'm getting documents in the next week from the Department of Revenue.
Thank you, sir. I believe your time is up.
I appreciate the time given tonight, and I would hope that the citizens of Snellville appreciate the concern that I have that your elected officials, Mayor, do the right thing for the citizens of this municipality. Thank you. You should be ashamed.
Excuse me, it's my turn. Thank you. Mayor and Council, once again, my name is Todd Warner. I live at 3144 Turf Terrace, Snellville, Georgia. I'm proud to be somebody here in the city of Snellville. I was lucky enough to be elected by the citizens of this great city to be a council member. I was one of the council members that helped draft the ethics code that we currently operate under. And I also happened to be a city councilman that at the time that I was sworn into office owed taxes, as every single one of you owes taxes today. When it comes to paying your taxes, that's a totally separate issue from whether or not you filed an improper report or an improper document with the state or federal government. I had a very similar issue to Mr. Witt's in that I had some money in an IRA that the investment went bad, and for whatever reason the company decided that they were going to send us a 1099, and we owed those taxes. And one of the things that I did, because I had a concern that possibly the oath of office that I took would count that as me owing money to the state. Unaccounted for funds, I believe, is the exact term that's used in the oath. And I was assured not by Mr. Powell, but by 3 separate city attorneys, that there was no issue. That was, as long as I was not colluding to hide monies from the state, and that I had properly filed my paperwork, as long as I was making my payments, there was no issue with my oath of office. Now, clearly, as we've all seen, there can be differences of opinion when it comes to the law. But I feel very sure that you as a council, if the Superior Court of Gwinnett County decides that there may be some merit to this case, that as the ethics ordinance of this city states, you can look at that and make a determination on the material that has been presented by a hired gun. And maybe that would be the easiest way to put this whole thing to bed, is for y'all to bring it up, vote it down, and be done with it. One of the big issues with our ethics ordinance has always been concern that it would be used as a hammer to beat on a political opponent or to be improperly used by somebody with an axe to grind. And sadly, I think this may be the case, because it's clear that we have a state senator in the state of Georgia that had some ethics issues. Never heard word one out of the illustrious public defender of the public. I believe there are a number of other issues, whether it be open records, whether it be whether or not people are filing reports as required under state government, that someone could actually spend their time and do some public good rather than trying to dig something up and try to make a big fanfare about whether or not somebody personally did something wrong. And I apologize if I might have exceeded my time.
Have not. You have about a minute left, I was about to say.
I think I'm done. I've rambled enough. Thank you very much.
Kurt Schultz, 2027 Tanglewood Drive. I don't have anyone paying me to say what I'm about to say here about Tom Witz. This comes from my heart. You can look anywhere in Snellville, Mayor, and see the good that Tom has done for this city. He has done more than anybody in the short time he's been on this council. Farmers Market, I don't think that would be here except for he and Barbara Bender worked with Gretchen, my wife, and myself and the rest of the committee to get this going. Today we see the proof in the pudding. We're #1 in the state, #2 in the country overall. What a fine job, thanks to all the help from people like Tom. The community garden, we're just getting started. We're seeing a lot more help from everybody on the council. Tom is bringing out the best in everybody on this and getting support from all council members and the mayor. The Veterans Memorial, here again, Tom takes the lead in this thing, gets this thing going, and you know, it's just amazing. The mobile stage, as our city manager pointed out, this is just spectacular. The stage we have, it's been used for so many great things in the city already in this first year. This was Tom's efforts to get this going, along with the support of the council. The Amy Copeland events to help that poor girl who lost her limbs. Tom was one of the first ones to spearhead this. Just on and on and on. And not only does he just spearhead these things, he volunteers and gets the rest of you out there to help volunteer. He is out there from sunrise to sunset some days. And, you know, Tom is a true public servant. And as far as these allegations about his taxes, he has been up front with these from day one. They've been accounted for, and I'm sure he intends to pay them as he has worked out an agreement. Thank you, Tom. I would have 6 of you up there.
Any further public comment?
Catherine Creasy, 2829 Adela Court. And I want to say what an asset Briscoe Park is to our city. I go over there quite often with my dog. We walk around, and it is so neat, so well kept up, and looks so nice. When we were there last week, week before last, the yellow daisies were blooming all over the place there. It was just beautiful. And I just wanted to praise the people that keep it up so neat, and say how proud I am that it's part of the city. Thank you.
Thank you. Any additional public comment?
Yes. My name is Kathy Emanuel. I live at 1313 Temple Johnson Road, Loganville, Georgia. It's the mailing address, but it is in the city limits. I'd just like to say that if legitimately owing money is an ethics violation, you better put David on there too, because we have a loan at B of A on our house. So if that's a criteria for an ethics violation, I'm pretty sure most of you are probably guilty of the same thing. Thanks very much.
Any additional public comments? Seeing none, I'll close the public comments. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. So motion by Councilman Howard. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Emanuel. Is any further discussion? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor of adjournment signify by raising your right hand. That is 6 in favor. All those opposed, 0 opposed. We are adjourned at 8:34.